Good afternoon and good morning to those of you who are out west. Welcome to today's democast from the Construction Specifier and Marco Beverage. My name is Tristan. I'm the Associate Director of the Construction Specifier, and I will be moderating today's presentation. Just to cover a few housekeeping items before we get started. If you have any questions during today's democast, please enter them using the Q&A section, which you will find at the bottom of your Zoom window. We will address as many questions as possible at the end of the presentation. Zoom does have a raise hand function, but since we'll be keeping everyone's mics muted, please only use the Q&A instead. If you're experiencing any technical difficulties during the democast, you can enter a message into the chat, which you'll find right next to the Q&A, and we'll do our best to help. Today's democast is being recorded, and it will be available on the Construction Specifier website by this time next week. Now I'd like to introduce our speaker, Brendan Murphy. Brendan is the Central Region Sales Manager for Marco Beverage Systems. He has over a decade of experience in food service equipment sales and is a certified food service professional through the North American Association of Food Equipment Manufacturers. He works with a range of partners from specifiers, designers, and distributors to determine the most effective water and coffee equipment to fit their customers' operation. Today's democast will be about Marco Beverage's award-winning poured coffee appliance. Poured is compatible with either a ready-to-drink or concentrate coffee source. Poured was recently awarded Best New Product Cold Coffee Preparation by the Specialty Coffee Association. This award was based on the system's ability to serve a range of different beverages from a single concentrate, whilst automating portion control and dispensation, delivered from a sleek, stylish countertop font. Poured streamlines service, cuts labor costs, and reduces waste. Brendan, we appreciate you for joining us today. Please take it away.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tristan, and good afternoon to all of those joining us today. As Tristan mentioned, my name is Brendan Murphy. I am the Central Region Sales Manager for Marco Beverage Systems. Today, we are going to talk our new coffee dispense system that will fit any market segment, office, retail space, or coffee shop. But first, some detail on Marco. At Marco Beverage Systems, we have over 40 years experience in designing and manufacturing stylish, innovative, and energy-efficient beverage dispense solutions. Our beverage solutions can be found in coffee shops, offices, hotels, convenience stores, and restaurants all over the world. Over those 40 years, Marco has innovated new brewing and dispensing equipment for coffee and water. Our products continue to evolve to better fit the market needs. These products include our precision brewing station, the Uber boiler, our under-counter hot water dispenser mix, our single cup coffee brewer SB9, and our hot, cold, and sparkling water dispense system Frio. Our equipment innovation process encompasses the following three things. We look at global trends, industry trends, and design thinking. The global trends we model from include the ease of use, health conscious, the ability for choices, design, sustainability, and lastly, flexibility. Next, we take a look at the coffee industry trends, whether that be consumer, convenience, and consistency, the third wave specialty market, coffee science, exploration, and of course, looking around the corner at what's next to come. And lastly, design thinking, in which we empathize with the end user, we define problems, issues, missing solutions, we ideate, prototype, and test equipment that we manufacture. We took this innovation process we just covered to cold beverage and more specifically cold coffee. Like with anything, cold brew has its challenges and its opportunities for operators. The challenges we hear with cold brew are a lack of space, consistency with the beverages, speed of service, and the overall customer experience. But the opportunities are simple. It's the rate at this market that this market is growing. The demand for cold coffee beverages is skyrocketing year over year. So the solution for this growing market space, poured. Poured is the quickest, easiest, and most consistent way to serve delicious coffee on tap. Let's take a closer look at the poured. By delivering hot, cold coffee from a stylish, sleek dispenser, poured enhances customer experience and improves speed of service for any coffee program. Poured's varieties give users complete flexibility over their beverage offerings. Users can create a range of beverages using the poured systems. Sites can use a shot of concentrate for mochas or iced lattes, pre-set up to 3 different sizes of cold brew, and can also choose to add a separate hot water stream for teas, Americanos, hot chocolates. So what are you buying when it comes to poured? If you take a look at this graph here, you'll notice this control box here. So when you're buying a poured, you're buying a control box, and then you're buying one of the 4 following dispense systems. And you'll notice there's 2 systems, ready to drink or concentrate. The difference between the 2 is minimal. It's referring to the product that you're ultimately going to be dispensing from poured. And I'm happy to answer any questions regarding the differences between the 2. And you'll notice to the right here as well, the ability to add either a boiler or a chiller. So there's additional components you can pair with the poured that we manufacture as well, all just to get to that desired end result. This is a great image of what an installed system would look like. You see the counter-mounted dispenser with the control box and the coffee source down below the counter. So this is what the customer will see. This is what the operator will see. The image on the right shows the system paired with a Marco boiler. As we discussed in the previous slide, that ability to have that separate hot water stream, you pair that with a boiler and have that down below the counter as well. To recap, poured delivers hot or cold coffee from a single dispenser, and you can use any concentrate or ready to drink coffee source. And the poured is available now for sale here in North America. Thank you for joining me. And of course, contact me directly, either email or phone anytime. I'm happy to provide any additional information. And of course, today, if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer those as well.
Well, thank you, Brendan, for this excellent presentation. We have some time for Q&A now. So again, just open the Q&A window located at the bottom of your Zoom window and post your questions there. And we actually already have a few coming in, so let's get started. First question we have here asks, what are some barriers to entry for sites wishing to serve or offer cold brew?
Yeah, I think the biggest barrier for entry is they're not sure how. And also it's expensive. The existing systems are complex and they take upkeep. So the idea behind poured that we covered is it's trying to eliminate all those issues. So if you look at the advantages of poured, it's ease of use, cost effective, limit the complexities, and it's minimal upkeep. So anything in that's out there, that's the traditional way to serve cold brew, it lacks all those.
Okay. Another question here asks, What coffee brands could be used with this system?
That's a great question. And, there's really no limit because, a lot of coffee shops or coffee manufacturers across the country that are making their own cold brew. So you can use really any source, out there. And we're happy to kind of pair those partners based on what operation we're looking at. So we work with a range of partners across the country that kind of do different things, right? They're in different spaces. So kind of depending on what's best for your application, we're happy to help pair a coffee source ultimately to an end user. And there's so many options out there that really there's a perfect fit for everybody somewhere.
The next question asks, what are some trends that we're seeing in cold brew and how is this disrupting the market?
Yeah, that's a great question. And one of the trends we kind of covered in here and just went by quickly is bag and box concentrate coffee is the next great trend. So it's not something that we traditionally saw years ago. And this is what's kind of driving, our innovation with equipment, but also the coffee industry as a whole. Making cold brew traditionally laborious, messy, time consuming, and really should be left for those coffee shops, those artisan coffee shops. Now we have these large coffee manufacturers, the large name brand coffee manufacturers that are producing a bag and box concentrate. So similar to the soda systems that you guys will see in food service operations, it's along those same lines. So now you have a bag and box concentrate that that's shelf stable. So you can ship this all around the country through traditional shipping methods. And, now whether you're a gym, an office, or a restaurant, you could receive bag and box concentrate, install one of our ports, and, you're serving cold brew in an environment that typically we were limited to being able to do so. So that's one of the big advantages. And then just kind of going down those same lines, kind of along that same, that same trend is with the traditional cold brew, to transport it, to get it to a site, you'd have to keg it and refrigerate it. And even in the transportation process, you'd have to refrigerate it. So, you eliminate that with the concentrates, which is fantastic. That's a big advantage. But part of the manufacturing process is diluting the concentrate. So, that's bringing that concentrate down to a drinking level. With the bag and box, you don't have to do that. And with the port, you don't have to do that. So now we're not shipping, primarily water around the country. We're only shipping that concentrate. And what the port will do is dilute the concentrate at the point of serve. So when you're actually dispensing from a port, it's diluting at the parameters you set that water. So bringing it down, that concentrate down to a drinking level. And that's a really big advantage from just the transportation and just the overall ecosystem of cold brew.
Okay. Another question here asks, if the demographic is used to drip hot coffee, how difficult would it be to transition them to this product, be it concentrate, hot or cold?
Yeah, it'd be relatively simple. That's the beauty of port is the entry is not the barrier to entry is not too high. There's a very low barrier of entry when it comes to port. So the transition is relatively simple. I think we'll see a lot of the traditional coffee providers out there start to head in this trend, and that'll trickle down, and we'll see any kind of coffee service head in this direction because it's more efficient. It's simpler. There's just too many advantages not to head this direction. So low barrier of entry and overall an easy transition.
And then another question asks, is there anything else like this on the market?
Simple answer, nothing. There's really nothing like that, like the port on the market. And that's why we manufactured the port in the first place. There's beyond the traditional cold brew dispense, methods, which is the traditional keg systems. There was no alternative. So really, when you look at port, it's in a league of its own. It's a one-of-a-kind product, and it's won industry awards because of that.
Okay, well, thank you, Brendan, and thanks to everyone who joined us today. That's all we have in time for questions. But if you need to reach out with any additional questions, the presenter's contact information is currently still up there on the screen. Just a reminder before everyone leaves, if you'd like to rewatch today's presentation or share it with a colleague, we'll be emailing the link of the recording to everyone who registered for the democast within a week. So keep an eye out on your inbox. Finally, after you shut down Zoom, you'll be taken to a survey to provide feedback on your experience today. Please take a moment to complete this survey as it does help us to continue to serve your needs in the future. On behalf of the construction specifier and Marco Beverage, thank you again for joining us, and please enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.